So, you're a teenager, and this is how your bank account looks like. Me too, actually. But then I decided to lock in and I started stacking up skills. I won't show you my recent balance, but just know that I can buy like 100 Labubus in one go. I used these three uncommon ways to make money as a teenager. The first one is fixing phones locally. So, in my neighborhood, I was always considered that guy when it came to tech stuff and everything actually related to tech, computers, phones, all of that. But I fell for that title completely by accident. Let me explain why. In this story, I was about like 15 or 17 years old, but working in a bar, you make a whole lot more friends than your ability to recognize new people. They all recognize you, and you don't recognize all of them, you know? So one particular day, there was one client who came over and he was all shy and he was like all beaten down and everything. I could read it on his body language until he started getting loose and more comfortable with me because we were sharing some beers and stuff like that. Was I 17 or 15? For the sake of just be drinking beers, I'll say I was 18. Until he became loose enough to actually become honest with me and tell me why was the reason that he was actually down. And it was all tying up to his phone. And I was like, how? How come? Then he went along and gave me this big story about his wife and kids that are in South Africa, and now he can talk with them for like a week or something like that. And in my mind, I was like, damn, were they kidnapped or something like that? But that's not what I asked actually. But I wanted to ask him though. I asked him next, like, so what's wrong with your WhatsApp again? Usually that's how people contact on a daily basis here. Then he was all sad looking at me and grabbing his phone and stuff like that. And he looked like, bro, as soon as I updated WhatsApp, it got a little crazy, man. I don't think my phone supports it anymore. Then he was like, stupid Zuckerberg. I contained myself again and I was like, let me have a look. It took me literally 30 seconds to actually figure out why his WhatsApp wasn't working. The guy's date and time was set to something along the lines of 2009-01-01 at 3:45 a.m. And mind you, this was around like 2019 or 2018, and it was easy for me to notice why it wasn't working actually. So again, I held my laughter. I went to settings, toggled automatic date and time, and when I went back into WhatsApp, the messages just came flooding in. And you could see with each message that was coming in, you saw the light blowing on his eyes, or glowing, not blowing. That sounds kind of sus. One cool idea popped into my mind. I was like, yo, I think you have to apologize to Zuckerberg. And he was like, what? How am I supposed to do that? I don't have his number. And I was like, yo, I know he can hear this. Just go onto your phone, go to your WhatsApp and choose a number, you know, and send this message and direct it to Zuckerberg. Say you're sorry and all those things. Zuckerberg will hear it. Zuckerberg never answered though. But the guy, he actually bought me 3 more beers. So yeah, man, I was low-key balling. He wanted to pay me like the equivalent to around $4. It's quite a lot here in Mozambique. But yeah, not enough for the problem I solved. So he ended up splitting up the 3 beers, but he was insisting on, no man, drink it yourself. You deserve it, bro. You deserve it. Then he went. But before a full week passed by, another person came in and he had another problem. Then came another. Then another. Then another. And then it really started flooding in and people already started considering me like the tech god. I gave myself that name, but it kind of sounds cool. And I was literally just fixing software stuff like downloading WhatsApp, changing ringtones, removing your cell phone from like do not disturb, turning off airplane mode. Like literally, you can imagine anything that your grandma would ask you to do. That's what people were asking me to do, and they wanted to pay me for it. Some stuff actually took more of my time and money, like updating the software, like flashing a phone and stuff like that. That charged quite a bit much. But this can apply to you as well. If you are tech fanny or if you know how to use PCs or just phones in general, you can just provide that service because people will share the word and they will tell more people to come to you. Like you have free referrals. You can run ads for it, but you don't even need to. Like the referrals come like crazy. But I just did it for fun with them and I really didn't drop my stick. I think I made like more than 7 people actually make audios for Mark Zuckerberg. So Mark, if you hear those, just know that they're saying thanks because of me. The second is video editing and making ads. This also came all of a sudden. This also came all of a sudden. Like, I was literally just fixing software, like flashing a phone and stuff like that. That took me like 2 weeks. And I was like, yo, I think you have to apologize to Zuckerberg. And he was like, what? What? How am I supposed to do that? I don't have his number. And I was like, yo, I know he can hear this. Just go onto your phone, go to your WhatsApp and choose a number. And then he was like, let me have a look. It took me literally 30 seconds mainly because I was doing the third wave first and I really wasn't feeling this option that much at the time. I think it was because I was using my phone to do everything and I really didn't know the capacity of how much I could charge with this one, I won't lie. I never considered myself a professional editor till this day, mainly because I didn't actually feel that I had the touch to actually make a video entertaining and engaging. I never felt like I cut the video in the right place or I actually edited in the right way or color graded in the right way as well. Until there came a time where I was running very low on cash and I was trying drop shipping and something like that, and I was trying to run ads as well. At the time, usually talk to someone who actually went through the process of making the video, compiling the different folders and stuff like that to make the video. We edited it, or he edited mostly, and then we took it to Facebook ads and run it to test if it sells or it doesn't. Most of the times it didn't. Actually, all of the times it didn't. The only times that something did go through was when we had free samples or stuff like that. Then all of the sudden he actually decided to stop showing up. I think he felt tired of actually never getting results with me because I had good game. I knew how to give you the idea of we're going to be rich, but we never got rich in the first place. That's when I decided to start doing everything myself. I checked every video possible on YouTube on how to do it, and fast forward to the time that I actually bought a PC, because I don't think I started editing videos on my phone because of CapCut and like the watermark that appears on it. I prefer to edit on my PC, and it kind of was popping. Then I actually tested it and it went triple cardboard, straight poop. No sales, a ton of impressions, but no income generated. But I started gaining confidence because people close to me or people that I showed the ad to were actually like digging it. They were like, yo, you're actually talented at this. I don't know if they were gaslighting me or something, but it actually grew on me and I started gaining more confidence on what I did. The one thing that actually made me exude confidence for real was when the actual person who used to find content for me and edit for me actually started asking me for tips and asked me to teach him how to edit. Crazy, huh? But with this, the possibilities are endless. I can say that I was charging about like 70, 100, 150, 200 to like the first clients I had. But now I can go even up to like 1,000 to like 1.5K. I just bundle a couple of stuff on there and you can actually use it to make yourself a bigger service. So you can even go up to like 5K even. On a monthly basis, they pay you 5K and you produce an amount of content. And the third way is graphic design. If you guessed it right, I think you should comment I knew it, and I'll owe you a follow on Instagram. If I remember correctly, I think this was the first way I started making money on the internet, like making a bag for real. And I literally started on my phone. I used to have an app called Pixel Lab. I don't know if it's still available, but it was low-key OP. It was overpowered, and for people who didn't know I was working on a phone and they saw the end result, I really feel like they wouldn't know like I was working on a phone. I think they will think I was working on Adobe Illustrator or something like that. And it actually did its job for the time and for the amount of clients I was getting at that time. It actually made me quite some money. So shout out to Pixel Lab. I used to charge clients like 40 to $100 on my best days, and I had 3 different prices just so the client wouldn't complain and they would go for the price that suits them best. At that time, I almost always could get the job done, mainly because I was using my phone. It was easy until the first problem emerged. After me answering like 30 or something or 20 or something customers, they all wanted it in JPG. But then there came one guy who wanted it on PDF, and that really wrecked my world at the time. Don't know if Pixel Lab can convert it to PDF now, but at that time, it wasn't possible. That one client made me look at everything in a different way. He made me pull a OG big baller, big stepper move. And I actually converted it into PDF. But how did I do it? I had the page, I had the logo that he wanted me to make. I think it was a logo or a banner or something like that. And then I went to this site that it's called easygif.com. And it's a site that I use to this day because their services are so cool. No ads, no nothing, bro. You just go in there, and if you want to convert something, hopefully they have the options you need. WebP to JPG, it's there. The JPG to GIF, it's there. Mainly anything that you might need. And that's when I unlocked a secret new level. That's when I started even being confident in myself and even charging out to $200 for one logo. But along the time that passed, I was able to learn more things, and that was able to make me charge even more depending on the client budget. I was able to learn about color theory, like hierarchy, text formatting, like a lot of stuff that really boosted my ideas as a creator. And it just did me more good than bad, because some of these things actually made it easier for me to learn different applications and stuff like that. It really boosted my work in such a way that if you saw my previous work, I think you would be shook. I think you would think that I was doing that on a PC, but I guarantee you that I was. Actually, do you want to see my previous work? Because I have it all in my Google Drive. And if you want to find my Google Drive, just join the Discord in the link in the description.